space, find a standing space. There we go. We're live on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn. Welcome if you are joining on the social media platforms. We're also now going live on Instagram for 30 minutes of movement and breath. And today I thought what would be good to focus on is just do a little bit of work on ankles and hips and then coming up to shoulders and neck. So linking it all together, just getting it mobile. So finding a position, a space where you've got room to side, to forward and to back. And then taking your feet shoulder width apart. And let's just start off with a little bit of knocking. It's mobilizing. Just really gentle, not forcing anything. Breathing in and out through the nose, not having to think about how you're breathing in and out through the nose. Just bringing your awareness to the feet, to the connection into the ground. And just keeping the ball of the foot, the heel connected to the ground. Toes relaxed, toes soft or relaxed. And just notice the rotation through the ankles. Moving up to the knees, just soft through the knees. Notice the movement, the rotation through the knees. Coming up to the hips. Rotation through the hips. So strong and supported through the lower body and light and lifted through the upper body. So relaxation in the shoulders, in the face. And then just slowing it down into water waves. And taking a rest, just standing, just relaxing the upper body, just bringing the feet a little bit closer so you're nice and solid and strong through the lower body, lifting tall. I was at the osteopath the other night and he reminded me about the simple thing we focus on a lot of the time is that lower body is strong, the upper body is light and lifted. So it's very much like a tree. Lower body, you're rooted into the ground, and then this upper body is just free to move around. And often in training, everybody trains that upper body and forgets about the lower body. So we become a little bit top heavy. So remember, strong and supported and stable through the lower body, light and lifted through the upper body. And then back out to shoulder width apart, A little bit of bend in the knees, sitting back a little bit, and then just spinal cord breathing, breathing in, breathing out. Tilting the pelvis as you breathe in, so you're spilling out the front of the pelvis as you breathe in, tucking the tailbone underneath, spilling out the back of the pelvis as you breathe out. Following your breath. On your next inhale, just rotate to one side and do a few up the side, maybe 2 or 3. When you're doing it to the side, remember still to use that hip and pelvis tilting forwards and backwards. When you've done a few to one side, just come back to the center and then change to the other side. Is strong through the lower body. Just seen a mosquito crawling on the ceiling there. Get that one. And then back down the center. Couple more down the center. And then stand tall again. Shake out if you need to shake anything out. Shake the arms, shake the legs. And then just going back to shoulder width, a little bit of dog wags the tail. So pelvis stays pretty parallel to the ground. Again, strong through that lower body and then just freeing up the upper body, the spine. And slowing down. Come to standing, just bringing your feet a little bit closer together, stand tall. It's always good to do those 3 spine movements, rotation. I know we repeat it a lot, but it's always good to repeat it. We're doing rotation, we're doing flexion and extension, and we're doing lateral flexion, side to side movement. Keep that spine strong, but flexible, but healthy, fluid. Let's do a little bit of shaking. So let's do washing machine where you're tapping alternate heels into the ground. So you're just creating that vibration through the legs. See if we can feel that transferring up the rest of the body. See if you can notice any bits where there might not be as much vibration. That's often where we have sort of maybe tightness, or there's any blockages. And then we can do a little bit of shaking where you're tapping heels. Again, if it's comfortable to tap the heels into the ground. So we're just lifting onto the ball of the foot and tapping the heels into the ground, shaking out the wrists. Sometimes it feels as if you want a really good shake. And sometimes with that good shake, you want to take that slightly fuller breath. So you want to do a cleansing and clearing breath, breathing in and letting go. Really good shake. And again, you can shake it, make it a little bit slower. If you want to go a little bit slower, you can go a little bit faster. If you want to go a little bit faster. If you want to do another cleansing and clearing breath. And slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Opening up the shoulders. That feels good, loads of tingling. Where do you feel the tingling sensations? Letting the breath settle. Let's do a little bit of work moving up the body. So we're going to start with the feet. Now, anything I do, if it hurts, if you've got any pain, if you've got any ankle issues, if you've got any Achilles issues and you get pain, just stop. But taking your feet shoulder width apart, let's go parallel with the feet. So they're heading forwards if that feels comfortable. And you're just going to roll onto the sides. And then you're going to roll back to the center and you're going to roll onto the other side. And roll and roll. And remember, you're breathing easy through this. If you start to hold the breath, you're straining, you're overloading the nervous system, you're overloading the musculoskeletal system. So just breathing easy, gentle movement. Rolling. My right ankle feels as if it just wants to release a little bit. So again, you might feel that. Not forcing anything. If you feel you want to shake them out and stop at any point, please do that. You might get some clicks. Oh, I'm getting clicks and crunches. I think my big toe is going to fall off in a minute. Hopefully not. Do a couple more. And then rest. Maybe have a little bit of a shake. There you go, click. Doubt if you heard that, but I had a little click on that right foot. Have a little shake and then just stand. See how that feels. How does that feel on the feet? We're going to stay with about shoulder width apart, or maybe a little bit wider. Sorry, hip width, maybe a little bit wider. Just so as long as you feel stable and supported. And we're just going to shift the weight to the ball of the foot, come up onto the bubbling spring, making sure the ankles don't drop in or out, and then shift the weight back to the heel and just gently roll back to the heel without falling back. So we're just going to move forwards, raise the bubbling spring, slowly down. Make sure you're in control of these movements. We're not just crashing down. Raise the bubbling spring. When I'm saying raising the bubbling spring, what I'm meaning is in Qigong, that point on the ball of the foot, is called the bubbling spring, the energy point where you're drawing energy from the ground. So you're just rolling onto the ball of the foot. Remember, the little tricks with staying balanced with this one is move the center forward first, so we have our center of gravity in the right place. Then imagine you're being lifted. Keep that spine long, keep the upper body relaxed. And breathing easy. And if we can, if it feels comfortable for you, just staying at the top, just raising the bubbling spring, really strong through that lower body. Breathing, keep breathing. Feel as if you're stretching out the calf muscles, the side of the calf muscles. Keep tall through the spine. And then just when you're ready, just slowly back down. And then give the little bit of a shake out. Another movement that I've been doing, or little practice that I've been doing, which I haven't done for a while actually, it reminds me of our chi running days, is where you bring your feet together. I know it's not just a chi running exercise, just resting on the knees or resting just above the knees, and we're just circling. So here you're straightening the legs out. Chi running body looseners. Keeping the feet in contact with the ground, so the ball of the foot in contact with the ground as well. So again, you're getting that rotation through the ankles, then you're getting that rotation through the knees as well. And then changing direction. And come up to standing. Let's do it with the hips. Let's do a bit of a leg swing so we get a balance with this one as well. If you want to rest onto a wall or anything, you can do. But if not, stabilizing in one leg, just watch that there's nothing behind you that you're going to kick or whack your foot on, and then just swinging. And the other thing I was focusing on the other day, we often just focus on the swing leg, but on the standing leg, there's going to be very subtle movement of this hip. So as you swing the swing leg forwards, you're going to get a slight tuck of the pelvis. Now, again, I don't want you to force anything on this standing leg, but you get that posterior tilt on that standing leg just a little bit. And I only noticed this because I was working with the osteopath because my right hip is a little bit tighter, and I found when I was swinging standing on my right leg, I didn't get this subtle movement through this standing leg as well. So it's a nice one just to check in that you've got that slight posterior tilt as you swing the swing leg forwards. The standing leg pelvis is slightly tilting posteriorly, i.e. tucking underneath. That shows that glute is working. So you're freeing up this hip, strengthening that standing leg. And remember the tree, so strong and stable through the lower body, upper body, you can do whatever you want to do. Don't fall over, please. Let's swap sides. If this hip's working, you should feel that working now. You should feel a little bit of a burn there. Take a rest, and then we'll swap sides. So balancing on the other leg. Remember that subtle movement through the standing leg. breathing. See if you can just relax the arms a little bit, relax the shoulders a little bit. And yeah, if you want to use your two tigers, use your two tigers to rest on. Then rest. Again, have a little shake out if you need to shake out. Bit for the rib cage, because we often go from, I often forget the rib cage, so we go hips to shoulders. Let's do a little bit for the rib cage. And the best one I found for the rib cage that combines everything is the teacup one. So you're popping your hand out to one side. You imagine you've got a teacup there. The hips lead, and then going round. So we're doing hips, ankles, knees, rib cage, shoulders. So you just imagine you've got a teacup in your hand, the palm that's facing up, that you're not going to spill, you're not going to drop. The hips lead. I often find the more difficult one, or the one that feels a bit clunky, is as the hips come through and you go overhead. So remember to bring those hips forwards. Let's do one more. And then rest. You can put the opposite hand just on the hip as well if you feel that opposite hand is just wobbling or doing nothing or just hanging by the sides. If you want to put that hand on the hip, you can do. Let's go the opposite side. So remember, hips lead. Maybe you find one side more fluid than the other one. Maybe pretty balanced. And then take a rest. And just stand for a moment. Letting the breath settle. Let's come up and do some shoulder and how are we time? You've got time for some shoulder and neck. So shoulders, bringing your fingers together, finger and thumb together like that. Find that space underneath the collarbone. So you're just resting your hands or your fingers and your thumbs under collarbone there. And we're just going to do big elbow circles, nice and slow. I've just seen, I can see Instagram now. We've got Effortless Running, Chi Running joined, and I was mentioning Chi Running. So I was mentioning Chi Running, and I didn't realize you had a Chi Running coach watching on Instagram. So hi. Big circles with the elbows. Also get that spine moving with this as well. So I'm rounding the spine a little bit there, the upper back, and then I'm lifting the heart to sky. And then we're going to change direction. Great. Shoulders and the spine. And then we're going to do some paddling or rowing. And this one, if you're standing, which we are doing, we can bring the hips into it as well. So that hip, shoulder, hip, shoulder. And we're also getting that little bit of lateral movement through the spine. So I'm squashing, no, I'm not, I'm squashing. And then we're also getting lateral movement and rotation through the spine. So it's a really nice one. So remember, you can soften into the ankles, soften into the knees. And then changing direction. This one is good sitting down because then you're just focusing on the spine, but it's lovely standing, particularly this one, because you can get that whole body movement again. Allow the shoulder blades moving, gliding, and then take a rest. Have a little shake out. Standing shoulder width apart. Remember, strong lower body, light and lifted upper body. Pulling down the sky, breathing in, breathing out. And then just finishing with a few moments of bamboo in the wind, bringing the hands together over the lower dantian, bringing the feet together, closing your eyes. And just letting the body gently move, rock, sway. And breath in. Open your eyes. Gentle brush down. Didn't get to do stuff on the neck there, so remind me, shout at me on Monday when we do the breath work session, or focus a little bit more on the breath. We can do a little bit on the neck there. So quite nice that we worked away up the whole body, just getting some gentle rotation, flexion, extension, etc., warming the joints up, getting the energy flowing. If you have any questions, as always, please do not hesitate to get in touch. If you have any requests, please do not hesitate to get in touch. I will see you next on Monday for focusing on the breath. Thanks for joining as always. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Bye bye.